So, YouTube's proud to be campaign. Before I begin the video, I wasn't going to do a video on the subject when it first came to light. As I saw the genuine amount of hate surface, I actually wanted to make the video because I felt frustrated, at lack of a better word. So this video is for me. It's for me to vent, for me to get my opinion across. I don't expect this video to appeal to everyone. I won't be my regular 100% always trying to be funny, positive attitude girl, although my opinion that I'm trying to spread is one that I feel is quite positive. But I will be being somewhat serious in this video, but don't worry. Don't worry, TV Travesties episode 3 will be out soon enough. I'm sure you've all seen the Proud to Be video. I'm sure you've all seen the like to dislike ratio, and of course the comment section, which could give me enough content alone to make a whole 10-minute video. But that's not what I'm going to do. Instead of focusing on that cesspool of a comment section, I'll be looking at full video responses and social media opinions. Before I go on to at least acknowledge the comment section on the video, I'll say this. The best way I can describe this comment section would be a shit show. There's so many cool kids trying to be funny and edgy here that it's almost impossible to distinguish between the jokesters and the bigots. And I don't think I can sum it up any better than Atozy did in his video.
And this response also shows that a movement like this is actually needed.
And I agree. Thumbs up to you, Atozy. You can't forget Keemstar too. Fair play to him for speaking up against it on Twitter and trying to influence his fans to make a positive impact on the video. I genuinely think that's the first time I've ever agreed with Keemstar on anything. Alright, so this is the part of the video where I'm gonna start to get a little bit more serious and just a tinsy bit angry, probably, maybe frustrated, I don't know. But I'd be here for hours and I'd sound like such a broken record if I responded to each response video individually. What I did is I just got a list of the most common arguments against the video, and I'm just going to try and counter them. There's a pretty simple solution to this one. Just don't watch the video. YouTube aren't CNN, they're not pointing a gun at your head, they're not blackmailing you to watch the video. And if you're so worked up about the LGBT flag in the corner of the YouTube homepage, just ignore those 2 pixels because it was there for 3 days at the most when this was going on. I'll even admit I've used the "it's being shoved down our throats" argument before in my Onision video that I did ages ago, and I don't agree with it anymore. You just turn off the screen, bro! The argument of nobody cares is probably the one that I saw most commonly in people's videos. Even people who were being neutral this year and last year. It's the argument that everybody brings up, and you're fully entitled to do so. Because to an extent it is correct, and it is a very valid argument. But only to an extent. With a topic like this, it's not black and white. There's no defined answer. It's not a maths equation that you can solve and you have a formula that will work 100% of the time. And what I'm trying to get at is that for many people in the LGBT community, people care, and there's 2 ends of the spectrum. On one side we have the lovely, supportive people who are generally allies, family or friends to people of the LGBT community, and that are very positive about it. And on the other side we have the people who care in a negative way. These are the people who care to know about your sexual orientation, and it's from a place of hate. This is another very common criticism I saw based on the title of the video, which was celebrating the brave voices of this pride. But to carry over what I was saying in the last point, there's still a surprisingly large amount of people who publicly claim their hate for gay people, for trans people, for just LGBT people in general. But to be less general what I'm saying, I'll use an example, and I'll use an example of a content creator that was actually in this year's Pride. Miles McKenna, who is this person who before transitioning into the man he is today, came out to his mother as a lesbian at the time and was kicked out. He was living on YouTubers' couches for a good while. And the sad thing is there are so many other stories of people being separated from their loved ones because they can't accept them. It annoyed me when I saw people jump the gun and start speaking about how they weren't oppressed, how they weren't brave, and how they weren't strong, when the person in question doesn't even care enough to learn the person's name. At the end of the day, being yourself against any odds is brave in my books. So, good on you, people of LGBTQIA+. That's probably the only time in this entire video that I'm going to say that lengthy title. Believe it or not, just because same-sex marriage is legal in the US does not mean that LGBT people all over the world have their rights and that they need to shut up now. In fact, that literally couldn't be further from the truth. There are so many LGBT people all over the world who are suffering because they're being themselves. I've actually been to places in the world where it's illegal, and I quote, a felony punishable by imprisonment for 14 years. But even look at places like Uganda, for example, that have whole sections of some of their most popular newspapers dedicating to outing anyone who is possibly gay or homosexual as so. So people know if they associate themselves with sinners, and they can hand them in and harass them for being so. Even closer to the US, Brazil has one of the highest murder rates for people of the LGBT community in the world. There are even people who decide to take the law into their own hands and murder anyone they believe is gay on sight. Just because you don't see it in your country doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I listed all the sources in the description, all the videos I used for reference, and any other videos that I used or articles and whatnot. And I also listed a episode from a show called Gaycation, the Brazilian-themed episode, that is hosted by Ellen Page and her best friend. I know, it's very shocking of me to mention Ellen Page, but it's a good series, it's short enough, and I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot more about LGBT culture and understand a lot more now, kinda. Not really, but I'm not a good salesperson. I recommend you watch it. It's got Ellen Page in it. What more could you want? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you disliked my opinion, I would be more than happy to argue in the comment section below, but civilly. Yeah, where's this? I don't know how to end this video. Everybody's fucking talking in the background, and it makes me mad. Makes me mad.